Hey there, welcome back. So in the last video, in the last videos, these are the things we built. So in this video, we'll build the prompts page. So I'll show you the end output of how the prompts page looks like. Okay. So if you go here, this is the prompts page. So if you see, the header is common, and also the title, and then description, and also the individual prompt card for the examples we have, like the image, the title, and the prompt that was used to generate this image. And also there is a button at the right, view button. Clicking on this will take it to the individual prompt page. Okay, as of now for this video we'll try to build this prompts page. So going back to the code part. So what we'll do here is, like, since it's the prompts page, so in the pages folder we'll create a new folder called prompts. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, so let's name this as prompts. Okay, and in this the file name should be index.tsx. okay, fine. So before even that, so I like to build a one page container which will be common to all the pages that we are going to build. So instead of rewriting in every page that we are going to define, we will define in the common layout folder, and then you reuse that page container to whatever the page we are going to build. Okay, so let me name that as a page container. So in the layout folder, let's create a file called page container.tsx. okay, now here we will define that component. So that component name is same as the file name, page container, and props, it will receive the props input, and it will be of type flex props. Okay, so from ChakraUI React. Okay, and then here we will use the flex container of ChakraUI. Okay, so here we'll give some attributes for this. Width as 100%, so it will take the all width of the screen, and we will give the max width as container large. Okay, so that is this one, and then we'll give flex as 1, so that it will occupy as much of space it needs. And the padding top, will give padding top as little, so that there will be space between above content. And the flex direction, obviously it has to be in the column, so we will mention that here. Okay, and then margin X, obviously auto, give it as auto, and then padding in X direction will give as a 4. Okay, and then whatever the props we receive for this component input, we will attach those props as well. And finally we will export this component so that we can use in other file. Okay, so page container. Okay, yeah, so this is the simple page container component I was talking about. So now we will head back to the index page and then start building the index prompts page. Okay, so going to that, so let's, okay, fine. So here, okay, yeah, so the component name is prompts. Okay, so here we will return that. Okay, so use that page container which we have just created. Okay, inside this, first we are going to achieve the title and description part. So for that I would need the vertical stack. So since there has to be in the column part. Okay, so here vertical stack, and give some border radius for this. So give border radius as XL, and give width as 100%. okay, so 1 second, in string. Okay, 100%, and then margin bottom I'll give as 10, and flex I will give it as 1, and align items I want it to be start of the page, so it will be flex start. Okay, and inside this we will define two text components, one which will have the one we will wrap the title, and another we will wrap the description part. Okay, so the text part. Okay, so we have to import that from ChakraUI. Okay, so let me do that here. text. Okay, yeah. So we'll here the styling for this will give font size. Since it's a title, we'll give a little extra large, so 3XL. If it's a medium screen, we'll give it as a 4XL. Okay, yeah. So this is a font size, and also font weight will make it as a extra bold, so that it indicates this is the title of the page. So we'll give it as extra bold, and we'll make it act as the H1 tag of a HTML element. Okay, and inside this there should go the content of the title. So what I'll do, I'll define here two variables, okay, for the title and the description. So let's define this as title, and here I'll store the content of that. So it will be of AI prompts inspiration. Okay, and that I will use here. So here I'll use the title, and as I said, it will go to the in this index page. Here it was in the hero part, right, that we have to give the where was the prompt section. Oh, just a second, in the header part. Okay, so here, so it was here. Okay, so we will give the URL to our prompts page, so that we will see once we click on this prompt section, it will take to us the prompts page. Okay, so what I'll do here, the URL for that is just the prompts/prompts. Okay, fine. So now let's go ahead and check the the prompts page. Okay, one second. So there is error throwing, so let's go back. Prompts section we have defined. Okay, ideally it should work. Just a second. Okay, I know what I made a mistake. Okay, so going back here, there is no default export in this section. That's the reason it was throwing error. So now if we go back, it should take us to that. Yeah, so the footer will be common and also header. So as I said, we just added the title, so we see the reflection of the title. So we'll go ahead with the remaining part. Okay, so going back to our code, so to this index page, so title is done. So one more thing is the description of that page. Okay, so for that we are going to use one more text component, and then here we'll give the color for this. So we'll give here color as beach dot 500. Okay, and max width we will give it as a container medium. Okay, and the font size will make it as little less than the above title. So if it is a base screen, I mean small screen, we'll give it as a large. If it's a medium, we'll make this as the extra large. Okay, yeah, and we'll make it act as a h2 tag. Okay, fine. And then the description, for description also I'll define here with the variable. Okay, so let me give the description here. That content is just our free AI prompt covers a wide range of themes and topics to help you create a unique avatar. Just some content, you can give whatever you want. Okay, so use theme with our studio or your stable diffusion or a DreamBooth models. Okay, so yeah, your stable diffusion or DreamBooth models. Okay, so this is the description, so let's use that variable here inside this. Okay, so just a second, so let me use that. Okay, fine. So now if you go to the output, yeah, so this is the text that we wanted. So the title and description is achieved. So now we'll go for the cards, prompt cards. Okay, so after this what we'll do is like out of this vstack we're gonna use the one more flex container. Okay, and make this as position as a relative, and align items space between. Why align item space between? Because we'll have the character switcher in the right part of the screen. That is the reason the flex container is used, and also the align items we're using it as a space between. And flex direction, we will, if it's a base small scale, will make it as a column, or else we'll make this as a row reverse. Yeah, and okay, and inside this first here I have to define one more component called character switcher. So that is nothing but the I'll show you what that character switcher is. Okay, so if you go here to this section, just a second. So here, so you see here the right part, the Romy and Saka. So this is the character switcher. So even why I gave the row reverse is like, if I define the first component as the character switcher, so this would be starting in the right direction. So this will come here, and the rest whatever the beneath we define the prompt component will come in the left part. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll go ahead and define the the character switcher component. So that I will define in the home section itself. So let's name that as a character switcher. Okay, so let's go to the components folder and homes folder, and then define one file called character switcher.tsx. okay, fine. So here we will define that component. Okay, let's name that as same. Okay, character switcher, and here the input thing that we will be passing is the callback function, just on character change callback function. So let's name this as a on character change. Okay, fine, and this would be of type on character change. So the function name is on character change, and the input parameter that this would expect is the character. So here let's define that character type here. So just above this I will define some variable, so t character. Okay, and then name this as Romy or Saka. Okay, so now I'll use this here, that as the type of this character, so t character. Okay, and the return type would be just void. Okay, fine. So this is the input parameter that this component expects, and then I will maintain one state variable remembering the character name. So I'll name that as a character, and set character. Okay, and import use state from React, and this would hold of type t character. So initially I will make default value as a Romy. Okay, and then we will define the rendering partner. So here we'll wrap everything inside the box component of ChakraUI. So here inside this I will define one more box. Okay, and display will make this as none if it is base screen, I mean small screen, or else I'll make this as a block. So medium screen onwards we will make this as a block, and position will make this as a relative. Okay, yeah. So inside this I'm gonna use that three images which we already have in the avatars placeholder section. So sorry, not avatar thumbnail, so avatar placeholder component. So we just have to pass the character as the input parameter for this component. Yes, so this after those three images we will define the buttons. to change the character name, the one for the character Romy and another for the character Saka. So let's wrap that around the button group component. Okay, yeah, so for this we'll give some styling. Padding left I'll give as a 4, and margin top I'll give as same 4, and margin X will give it as a auto, and the size I'll make this as small and is attached. Okay, and then variant I'll make this as outline. Fine, and inside this we will define the buttons. One is the Romy button and another is the Saka button. So we'll use the button component. Okay, here this one, and here variant based on the character we will change here. So if it's a character is equals to Romy, we will make this as a brand color or else just outline. Okay, yes, then on clicking of this I have to trigger the callback function. So first I'll set the character to the Romy, and sorry, it has to be small. Okay, and then we will call that callback function. So on character change, what we'll pass that respective character name. Okay, fine. So after this, the text of this button is this title, so the Romy, and do the same for the other character as well. So button, and then variant here, the check would be if character is equals to Saka. Okay, so then the color would be brand or else outline. Okay, fine. And then on click, the same thing. On click, what we do is in the callback function we set the character name to the Saka, and then on character change we'll pass this character name. Okay, yes, fine, and then give the button name here. Got it? So this is the character switcher component. So then what we do, we just export this component. So export default character switcher. Yeah, so the component that we need for the character switcher is done. So we'll go back to the prompts page. Okay, and in this flex part we will use that character switcher component. So inside this flex, okay, first thing I'm going to use is this I'll wrap this again in the flex container. So margin bottom will give as a 10 so that there'll be enough space, and also justify content will make this as the center part. Okay, fine, and flex I'll give it as a 1 so that it will take as much as space it needs. And here I will use that character switcher component. So here if you go here, and here the input parameters the callback function. So whenever the character variable okay, so here again since we need a character, so I'll define here above the character variable. So let's name this as against character, and also the set character, and use the use state hook, and this is again of type t character, and initially we'll default it to Romy. Okay, and now we'll use this here. Okay, this is the character that is expected for this function input parameter, and here whenever the on character change function is called, we're going to change that character name using the value present in the character variable. Okay, yeah, so and we are going to close this. So after this, so now if you see this section, so you see this character switcher is we're able to switch the based on the character name, the images are reflected. So this is happening using the callback function, that is on character change. Okay, so the character switcher is also done. So once we define the prompt component, so this will slide to the right, and this will occupy the prompt component will occupy the left space, so then it will look good. Okay, so let's complete that part also. So going back to our code part, so beneath this we will so just out of this flex we will use one more vertical stack, okay, since the prompts has to be in the column wise, okay. And flex will so out of the character switcher and this prompt, I'll give the more space for this. We'll give it as a 2, okay, and spacing we'll give it as a 2, and a divider, okay. And so here what we will do, we will use the divider component from the ChakraUI, okay. Yes, and then inside this, using the prompts list, we're going to render the component for each prompt, okay. So I'll make use of the prompts array, so from utils which we have defined, and then map here and hue for each prompt, okay. What we will do, we will render the component for that prompt code. So we'll define inside the flex, and key will make use of the label property of the prompt, and padding in all direction I'll give 4, and a gap will give here 4 again, and the border radius what we'll give is, we'll make this as extra large, and the background color will make it as a white. We'll make this as white, okay. Yeah, so fine. So inside this, the first thing that thing was the image, and then after that there was the label, label prompt, and then the prompt, okay. So I'm going to define, and then you will see what is the output, okay. So first I'm going to use the tilt image component which we have created, okay. So just a second. Yeah, tilt image, okay. Did I not define that? Okay, so what we'll do here is I will define one more component for that image part inside our home section itself, okay. I'll name that as a tilt image, okay. So that we can use that image component in all our prompts, okay. So let's go to home and define the component as let's name this as tilt image.tsx, okay. Fine. So here the we will name this component name as the tilt image, okay. And the input params that it will expect is the character name, okay, the character, and also the slug for that image, okay, and the size. So by default I'll define one const variable, so let's name this as so it's const, okay. So this name will give it as size will give it as 180, okay. So I'll use that variable here, and the types we will define here, so that TypeScript doesn't throw us error. So here character would be of type T character, so this is of T character, so it's not auto completing since there is an error. So what I'll do, I'll just import myself here T character, okay. Yeah, and slug would be of type string, okay, and size would be of number or string. So this is the optional param, okay. And then here we will render the components, okay. So here so wait, so we'll wrap here on the box of component. So inside this I'm going to use the tilt. So here I will use one more external library called React Parallax tilt, which should give us the illusion of the tilting an image. So that for that I will import install that dependency, so that is npm install React parallax tilt. Okay, so you could go and refer its npm official page and also the documentation part, so you'll understand what this does. Okay, I'm not going to details of this component library. Okay, yeah, so we install that react parallax, so we'll import that from so just a second. Okay, fine, I'm going to import tail from yes. So for this I'm going to use tail, and also I'm going to pass glare enable. Okay, uh, glare max opacity as 0.4, and then glare color I'll give some extra color. It is like B5 FFT9. Okay, the green color, and glare position give it as all, and glare border radius is 10 pixel, and tilt max angle in x direction. Okay, so in x direction I'll give 10, and also in y direction we'll give the same. Okay, 10. Okay, and style, so how much the height and width should be, since we defined their image size, so I'll use that variable. So okay, fine, so height I'll restrict to the this size variable, that is 180, and the width again the size. Okay, so this inside this tilt we will use the image component from next and render that image here. So let's give here again the okay, I should import this, import image from next. Okay, and give some styling for this, that is border radius. I'll give this as 10, and then source, the image source. So since we have in the public folder, we will refer that. Okay, based on this character we are going to render that image, and also making use of that slug. Okay, and this is of the png type. Okay, fine, and halt will give it as the slug name, and the width and height I'll give it as a 512, height also 512. Okay, and anonymized. Yep, so this is the tilt image component, so we are going to export this and make use of this in our prompts index page. So tilt image. Okay, so now going back here, so I'm going to use the tilt image. Okay, and as you saw, the input params for this was character name. Okay, so I give the character and also the slug, so make this as prompt dot slug. Okay, and since the size was a optional, and also by default we gave it as a 180, so no need for us to pass that parameter. If you want the different size, you can pass that parameter. Okay, let's go and check the output. You see here, okay, the image is rendering. Okay, the image for each prompt is rendering, and also you see the tilt that react parallax tilt library, we use the tilt component from that library, and this is the effect of that. Okay, you can tilt in x direction and y direction to max as 10 degrees, and okay, so you can play with the parameters there. Now we'll go and complete the remaining part. Okay, after this what we'll do, we will define one more vstack. So if you see the prompt and then description and also the button, so for that this is the vstack we are going to use. So justify content, I'll make this as a space between, and align items, make this as a flex start. Okay, and okay, fine, and inside this I'm going to use the vertical stack again for prompt label and the prompt. Okay, So inside this vertical stack and align items, I'll make this as flex start, and here we'll wrap the prompt label and the prompt inside two text components. Okay, so text transform, I'll make this as a capitalize. Okay, and font weight will make this as a bold, and the font size, if it's a small screen, extra large, or else 2 times extra large. So yeah, and I will make it as act as h3 tag. Okay, fine. Now inside this I'm going to use the prompt dot label property and also the prompt. Okay, so if you just have a peek view, you see this is the character name, and also we are appending the prompt for each label. Okay, yeah, so that is this. Now we'll go to code, and then next text component is for the what is the actual prompt that is used. Okay, here we'll restrict the number of lines to 3, and the font size I'll make it as a small so that it will not overflow, and also the font family I'll make this as a mono, and we'll give color as a little lighter, that is a beige dot 700, and inside this we'll use that prompt dot prompt property. So yeah, so now going back to the browser, you see so this is the prompt. Okay, and we gave color as a beige, and also the maximum it can take is the 3 lines. Now the thing pending is the button to view the respective prompt page. Okay, so going again to the code part, just beneath this vertical stack I will define the horizontal stack here, and then again give the justify content for this as a flex n. Okay, and width I'll give it as 100%, and the text align I'll give it as a right. Fine, and inside this I will wrap one button, that is view button. Okay, so let's make use of the button from ChakraUI, and then a color scheme I'm going to make this again as a beige. Okay, and then variant I'll make this as outline, and right icon, you saw there was a arrow icon, so there is a property in this button component, that is right icon, and then we'll use the bs arrow right from our react icons library. Okay, so bs arrow right. Okay, so let me import that. So auto complete isn't working, so going up, so the component name is bs arrow right from react icons slash bs. Okay, so that is the right icon. Okay, and then once we click on this button, it should take us to individual prompts page. As of now we don't have, so I'll give just blank. Okay, and I'll make this as act as a link. Okay, and then size will make this as a small, and the title for this button is view. Okay, fine. So here again have to import the link from Next. Okay, yes, so yeah, so this is pretty much for this prompts index page. So if you go to the browser, you see whatever we visualized here in this initial part, the same thing is we have accomplished in our prompts page. Okay, and if you switch the character, obviously the on character change callback is triggered, and then character is changed, and then based on the character name the images are being shown in our prompts list. Okay, yeah, so this is it for this video. We have completed the prompts page. In the next video we will deal with the individual prompt page. Okay, fine. So what is that I'm talking about is, so once we click on this view page, you see it has to show the individual prompt page with respect to both the characters and also the copy prompt action, use prompt action, and then more prompts, like 5 more suggestions kind of thing. So that page, this thing we will accomplish in the next video. Okay, so this is it for this video. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. There'll be a lot more exciting content coming up on UI. Thank you.